Yeah. Welcome to Hanoi in Vietnam. Okay, this little video is a self-reflection. Today, I've been using Desmos for remote learning properly for the first time. Um, did it for about something like 4 hours over classes. So I thought I would tell you what I've learned and tips for you if you're using it for remote learning, as I say, for the first time. I'm no expert, but you hopefully, from a teacher's point of view, being with kids online, what was useful. The first thing that was useful was what to do when a student suddenly turns up 25 minutes late to your lesson. What do you do? So before I carry on, it's important for you to be aware that I was using Desmos, but I also use Microsoft Teams in the background, occasionally doing shared screen so the students are in a video call and they can see me. So if in that situation, so a student suddenly turns up, the button to press is this one here. That will mean they can see it on your display and good to go. Another little shortcut is to click this link and Control C to copy it and then paste it in the messenger on Microsoft Teams. That way they can just click on there. That was something that at first I didn't see and now I've seen. So if a student arrives late, that's the place to click. Next, giving feedback for me was probably one of the biggest things I've learned all day. And was probably the best thing about Desmos in my lesson anyways. So how do you give feedback whilst the students are online? So the first thing you need to do is go to your home page on Desmos, find your name, and then press Desmos Labs. From there, click written feedback and press save. Now that means, if you don't do that, it's not going to work. You need to click on that, press save. It means when students, so these are my students in my class, when students are writing comments, I can give feedback for them. So I'm going to click on this one here. So it will look like this at first. You can see what I just pressed. Press this and you can give feedback. Now what's amazing is it also, so I've given feedback over screens. So they can see, it says correct, what was correct, go to screen 5. And so they can see that that question was correct. This here was really quick, way quicker than Microsoft Teams, and made the experience a proper lesson, to be quite honest with you. It was excellent, really, really good. Okay, next thing, anonymize. So when sharing my screen, like I am now, I have pressed anonymize, and it's created fake names. Now, the good thing about that, it means that no one knows, or the students don't know who I'm talking about. The only thing to watch out for, and we're not going to do it because these are my students, is when you highlight over their name now, or their fake name, it says their name, okay, or their true name. So on a call today, I didn't want anyone to know whose response it was, but by mistake, I showed it. So just watch out, even though you're on anonymize, when you hover over names, it occasionally shows their true name. So really watch out for that. Okay, pace. This was pretty cool. So if you can slow students down essentially. So if you press pacing and click a screen like screen 3, what that means is all the students can be on screen 1, 2, or 3. They cannot be on these pages. That was really useful because I had an extension at the end. I only wanted students to do the extension if I was happy with their previous answers. Okay, so that was particularly powerful, and again gives you a lot of power even when we're miles away or kilometers away from students. Pause, very cool. So I tried out a low stakes quiz. So I gave students 15 minutes to have a go at some questions. And I wanted the activity to start and stop, so pause was my way forward. When you click pause, on everyone's screens, it freezes, okay? It comes up with pause. So that means you're in control of tests, or if you were doing tests, but it also means you can get their attention. If you want to say something important, you can pause it, go into Microsoft Teams, get on the call, and you can speak to them knowing that you've got their attention. Last thing for me to share is maths functions. Okay, so today I tried to work on this, but I didn't realize until my students were doing it that I need to work further on this. When students are typing in maths, it's pretty tricky, and we need to train our students to know what to type and how to type. So the big one for me, okay, really good feedback. Thank you for that. Hi, watch out. I need to work on my feedback. Watch out about what? Watch out. Who knows? Okay, so big one for me is to typing in mathematical functions. It's all about type math. Okay, so to type in a fraction, I press 2/3, but I need to train my students in that. Okay, so today I had an activity where we were trying to work together to try and work out what the shortcuts were. I know another one, thanks to my students. If I press math function and SQRT, I get a square root. If anyone out there knows all the codes for these math functions, please do share with me. That would be very useful. So overall, Desmos was very cool. It provided a way more of a lesson, a real life lesson compared to other things we tried. By giving feedback, it was very quick, and overall definitely worth a try in these fairly challenging times. Okay.